Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another solo episode with yours truly, Chad Belding. This Life Ain't For Everybody podcast brought to you by Corning Ford. We just got our 2026 Ford F-250 Super Duty diesel built out. It's beautiful. It's the Avalanche Gray. It's got the Bodyguard bumpers front and rear with the worn winch, LED lights. I think I said winch, worn winch. LED lights by Baja. It's got Mickey Thompson, Baja, the boss on them all the way around. Brand new shoes on it with the brand new Mickey Thompson wheels. We got the tires and the wheels. Man, does it look good. We're posting a bunch of videos and pictures right now on Facebook and Instagram and Camo Space. I don't know about TikTok, but you'll see it on YouTube as well. It's got the Lear topper on it with the Lear locker in it. It's got the bed slide in it. New hitch on the back. It looks beautiful. We just got a new Mastercraft boat. We'll be pulling that around all summer. Lake Tahoe, Lake Almanor, a little wake surfing, wake boarding, a little lake time with the friends and family. So that's got us fired up. So thank you to Paul. Thank you to Francis. Thank you to Amanda, the entire crew at Corning Ford, Corning, California, the #1 Ford Super Duty dealer in the western region of the United States, a town of 6,000 people. Out of 13 states, they're the #1 Ford Super Duty dealership in the region. It's because of their selection, their inventory, their service department, but most of all, it's their overall customer service. They don't cut corners. They take care of you. They don't up the prices. They don't try to rip you off. They don't sugarcoat it. They don't pull the wool over your eyes. They're legit. They're honest. They're transparent. It is what it is. It's the best deal you're going to get, and the follow-up, the customer service, satisfaction, they're just awesome. So thank you to Corning Ford, the official dealership of This Life Ain't For Everybody. This episode is also brought to you by Whiskey Ranch Land and Cattle. Our buddies over at Whiskey Bent Hat Company have thrown out the Whiskey Ranch Land and Cattle. You can see I still got a brand new one on right here. He even got the stickers on it still. I'm a big fan of what they're doing at Whiskey Bent. The hat company is great. They're awesome to work with. Their culture, their energy, their vibe. They support conservation and the outdoors. They're obviously from the great state of Texas. What's up, Texas? And thank you. Thank you to Whiskey Bent Hat Company. Just an awesome brand. We like to support people that are out there building brands, entrepreneurial spirit of America. And this episode is also brought to you by Deemer Box. I'm holding up 2 of them right now. One's the Foul Life Custom. One's another one with custom grills, red, white, and blue. 4th of July, that'll be on the new Mastercraft boat. But you can pair these together. They're waterproof once the plug's into that port. 50 hours of battery life on one charge. You can charge your iPhone or whatever you need charged on it. It opens up. It's a Pelican case made in America. You can store all of your goods in it. And again, pair them up for surround sound, carry them like a boombox, like I'm on the movie Breaking or Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo in the 80s, breakdancing and carrying it, listen to some Curtis Blow or Dougie Fresh. The Fat Boys are back, a little old school hip hop and some beatboxing. I'm just kidding. I don't know what I'm doing. I've seen some really cool beatboxing online. I used to think I could beatbox, but man, just like everything else in the world, everything else in life, evolution, it just gets better and better. Man, you've seen some of these Red Bull breakdancing contests and dancing contests. These dudes float across the stage. I mean, they look like Fred Astaire, but with some energy and some vibe and some aura and some swagger. And they just hit, there's some cool tricks. It ain't just no head spins and back spins and cradles anymore like we used to do with our boombox and our strobe light and our cardboard that was all graffitied up with some spray paint. We used to go from house to house, knock on doors. Hey, you want to pay us $5? We'll put on a little breakdancing demonstration. White boys, but we hung with our black neighbors. They were our friends, JJ and Marcus, Cecil Washington's family, Corey Lobster. We grew up in a place called Black Springs. I never understood racism because there was none. We all just hung. We always were together. I miss Cecil Washington. He'd passed away a few years ago at 93 years young. Michael and JJ and Marcus and Corey and Izzy Bennett and LaVon, Lena, Martin Luther King Jr., recreational center in Black Springs. We'd go over there for our hot lunches, and to get our chocolate milks, we'd stand in line, play some hoop, get on the teeter-totter, break dance, rap, beatbox, talk sports. We played baseball and football and basketball, and we skateboarded, we wrestled, we boxed, we did it all. We were early stages of MMA, man. We were kicking the shit out of each other in the early 80s, the mid 80s, the late 80s. We were smoking it, wrestling, jiu-jitsuing it without even knowing what jiu-jitsu was, baby. We were rolling, though. Fighting, fist fights, getting expelled, getting suspended, getting in trouble, getting kicked off the bus, doing what kids do, riding motorcycle and catching horny toads and bluebellies, lizard catching championships. My next door neighbor, the Adrians, had a trampoline. We had a half pipe. We were skating. We had a log splitter. We had cows and horses and chickens. We had turkeys. We had sheep. We had goats. We had a wood pile. We had a wood burning stove. We had a front yard that my dad manicured and got on his hands and knees and picked the dandelions. It was living. I was growing up the right way, listening to some Mellencamp before I knew he was liberal. Listening to some Springsteen before I know he's liberal. Come on, man. You don't need to throw that stuff in our face. Just shut up and sing like my boy Brent Cobb talks about. I don't know if Brent's Republican or Democrat or liberal. I don't care. I think he's Republican, maybe, from South Georgia. But even if he isn't, he doesn't talk about it. He just shuts up and sings and writes some of the best songs of all time. I don't care what Bruce Springsteen thinks about Donald Trump. Shut up and sing Born in the USA and act like you mean it still. But that's what we grew up on, man. Hot lunches, we'd go to school. Everybody would have hot lunch. Not us. We had brown bag. We were talking about the other day, my brother's Clinton Clay. Some of our friends were around, like, we'd open up our lunch. We'd be like, gosh, dang it, Dad. He would take whatever we had the night before for dinner that was hot, and he'd put it in between two pieces of pretty much the most generic wheat bread you could get, 99 cents a loaf at the time, maybe 59. A lot of times we go to the day-old bakery and get it for free or get it for cheap. Sometimes we were on government assistance when Dad would get laid off, and I was drinking soybean milk and government milk and getting boxes of government cheese. I could still remember opening it and smelling it, and this is like, never want to be in that position, but they did whatever it took to get us through. But we'd open up our brown bags and it'd be what? Cold spaghetti or cold lasagna. Not just the lasagna. If we had a salad the night before, that salad, if it was mixed with some oil and vinegar, it was in there. If it had no dressing on it, just the salad was in there. Radishes and bell pepper and onions and carrots and lettuce and you name it. It was in there with the lasagna, with the spaghetti, with the steak, whatever we had the night before. Dad would get up, make all three of our lunches. Jack, Clint, Clay, write our names on it. Clay would go to elementary school. Me and Clint would go to middle school or high school, whatever it was. We were 2 years apart, 74, 76, 78. The Belding brothers were whipping ass all the way, still are today. But man, we grew up in a time where it was so different than it is today. You get on your bike and ride for a mile and hang at a friend's house and come back before the sun goes down and everything was cool. Everything was good. Hanging out. Yeah, there were some injuries. I jumped off this pile of wood one time right onto this piece of plywood that had a nail in it. Went right up all the way through my foot and my right foot. I still got pain from that sometimes. All the way through my shoe, through my foot. Yeah, I wanted to rub some dirt on it. That's what we were taught to do, but I couldn't. Had to go to the emergency room. I've been rushed to the emergency room in ambulances many times, in care flight one time. But that's what growing up was all about. I loved it. And to be able to have a platform now like the Foul Life TV, the Foul Life podcast, This Life Ain't For Everybody, all these social media platforms, which I don't like a lot about it, but some of it's all right, you know. Some of it can be okay if you do it in jest and do it for the right reasons. YouTube, you got all these ways of getting your content, and you got a lot of ways of getting your message out there, and we get to reminisce and talk about it and see what the differences are, or how we could improve, or what we did, or what we saw our mom and dads do. And it's neat, man. This whole journey of life and growing up and maturity and different levels of maturing. It's just awesome. I'm so blessed to do it and to have our partners and the confidence of all of our conservation and hunting partners and outdoor partners, and then all of our non-endemic partners that we work with on This Life Ain't For Everybody, and our network and our travels and our experiences and our association with the military and the first responders and the Blue Line, and musicians and athletes and MMA and NASCAR and like I said, military and admirals and generals and the St. Jude's Hospital and Ronald McDonald House. our 9/11 episode that we did. I mean, it just all was circulated through this mindset that we got to engage in on a daily basis growing up and learning the things we did. It was a well-rounded upbringing with whether it was TV and Cheers and The Cosby Show and Alf and Punky Brewster and Silver Spoons and St. Elsewhere and Knight Rider and David Hasselhoff way before Baywatch. It was Knight Rider and Kit and Lee Majors and The Fall Guy and Heather Thomas and Heather Locklear. And there was just, you grew up and you go to the store and that's when they had those poster boards and you'd look through it and you'd want to find your favorite band, which in the 80s it was Twisted Sister and Quiet Riot and Wasp and Stryper and Warrant and Whitesnake and Def Leppard for sure, Queensryche. And then we started to discover Guns N' Roses in 86, 87, which was a totally different band. We had Motley Crue back then. We had Skid Row. It was just awesome. You go buy posters and you put them on your room, or you go get Circus Magazine or Hit Parader Magazine or Kerrang or whatever it was called, or Rolling Stone, which was the weakest of them. But there was some really good Rolling Stone covers with Axl Rose, Slash. I still own them all. They're in mint condition. But I would collect those magazines and I'd read about Blackie Lawless and Wasp or Kevin Dubrow and Come On Feel the Noise and Quiet Riot and Def Leppard and Pyromania and Rick Allen and the accident and losing his arm and becoming a one-armed drum wizard. Just there's so much that we went through, and the computer and going to school and riding the school bus. Every day we rode the bus. Now I drive into the parking lot to pick my daughter up every day, and I'm like, man, look at all them buses. That's how I went. I don't think it's bad to ride the bus. You got mom and dads that work 9 to 5s, and they got public transportation. Thank God for bus drivers putting up with our rowdy asses, because we had some long bus rides. We lived out in the sticks, and we had a variance. We didn't get to go to O'Brien or Stead. Clay did, but we went all the way to where we ended up growing up in the northwest part of the city. Grace Warner Elementary and Clayton Middle School, McQueen High School. And we rode the bus all the way from kindergarten to when we graduated. Well, that's a lie. We got our licenses when we were 16. So we didn't have to ride the bus anymore. I had a 1982 white Ford Escort. Yes, sir. A Ford Escort was my first car. My second car was a badass 68 straight six Chevy Stepside, Blossom orange blossom, just beautiful. I remember Todd Kariza's old truck. He had a brown and tan Ford. I remember Wade's Jeep. I remember Avancino's little green car. I don't remember what everybody drove. A few of them stood out. We'd sit in the parking lot and listen to music. That was the early 90s by then, and we were listening to some Hostile by Pantera and Walk and Rise. Still listen to a lot of Guns N' Roses. Appetite was still powerful. Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 had just released. That was in 91. Oh, man. I remember the first day listening to that with Mark Senegorta, the double album, the red one, the blue one. Civil War, Right Next Door to Hell, kicked it off. Right Next Door to Hell kicked off Use Your Illusion 1. Civil War kicked off Use Your Illusion 2. Beautiful albums, pure rock and roll. Our football team won state our sophomore year and our senior year. Our baseball team sucked, but we had a short porch and right, so I hit a lot of bombs. I heard the other day that Wade was bragging that he got MVP. No, he didn't, and if he did, he knows it wasn't right. He was just a teddy bear, and everybody voted for him because he was Wade Platts. But I still love him. He's my best friend. I get to see his son, Eric, all the time. Congratulations to Eric Platts, the 2026 Northern Nevada NAIA Basketball Player of the Year. There's 2 different regions, but he got the Player of the Year overall. My boy, Breck Shalene, got the Defensive Player of the Year on the same team, the Reno Huskies. So congrats to both those kids. And the reason they got it is because their tenacity and their work ethic, their commitment. They're in the gym every day at Sierra Strength and Speed with Rob Knatzer and Preston and Campo and Blake. Just awesome. It's awesome to see this next generation. Just yesterday, we were in high school. It literally seems like just yesterday, and I know you hear people say that, but now I'm watching Eric dominate. He's going to graduate this year. My daughter's going into her sophomore year. She made all-league as a freshman on her volleyball team, got Offensive Player of the Year. And it's unbelievable. Life is so awesome, and I don't want to change it. A lot of people are like, man, I wish I was 20 again. I'm so honored to come up and be raised in the era and the generation that I was. I believe in my heart wholeheartedly it's the best of all time. With what we got to see in the evolution of the computer and the way people started to learn and how we were raised, how we were educated, the freedom, no social media, no cell phones, discipline, get your ass whipped if you messed up. I did many times, trust me. I took some major ass whippings from my mom and dad. Ain't afraid to say it, and they shouldn't be either. Parents probably go to jail today. Sad. Can't whip your babies. It's crazy to me, man. It's crazy that you can't do that. It's discipline. It's how you teach them. I think we ended up pretty good. Got good heads on our shoulders, good minds, healthy, discipline, raising families, jobs, branding, entrepreneurial spirit of America. I think we were raised right. And I think that time we came up was the perfect time, man. The music, the history, TV, MTV, videos, politics, world. We saw wars. We saw the introduction of the computer, like I said. We saw this whole time through the late 70s, the 80s, the 90s of just all these different eras taking over from outlaw country and disco to mainstream country in the 80s and the Hat Pack and Garth Brooks and Alan Jackson and Mark Chestnut and Tracy Byrd and Tracy Lawrence and Vince Gill. And then that, and then it went from 80s hair bands into grunge, and rock and roll was still there. And then the hip hop was NWA, and even earlier than NWA, they were like 85, but earlier than that, it was Grandmaster Flash and Curtis Blow and Dougie Fresh and the Fat Boys and Rob Bass. And then it started to get a little bit heavier with gangster rap. And then that started to go into the 90s to where it got a little bit weaker, in my opinion. I think the best rap of all time was right there in the 80s with Too Short and NWA and Eazy-E and DJ Quick. And oh man, it was awesome back then. I'm not saying the 90s were all bad. We had Biggie and we had Pac. Trust me, they're badass. Digital Underground and Nas, Wu-Tang. But man, as a whole, I just think that whole era, from being born in the 70s, raised as an 80 baby, and then a teenager in the 90s, and then my adulthood through the late 90s and the 2000s, and now all the way into 2026, I got no complaints, no problems with it. I don't want to go back and reroute. I don't want to be born at a different age. I don't want to be younger right now. I feel young as hell. I'm 51 years old. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm having the most fun. I'm the happiest. Everything is just coming together. The brands are thriving. The companies are thriving. Our employees are thriving. Our partners, our sponsors, our network, our opportunities, our experiences, our hunt camps. Oh man, I mean, it just doesn't get any better. And it's not bragging. It's just what hard work and tenacity and vision can get you. And we're all born with that equal opportunity and that American dream in sight, man. You can just reach out there and taste it and feel it sometimes. And I don't know if we've achieved it or not, but I'm sure I'm having a lot of fun and I'm honored to do it. I go into everything with humility. And I think that humility was taught to me through my upbringing, those times being around family, seeing how hard family worked, the sacrifices, the dedications, taking us to church and Sunday services and Sunday school and getting our first and second communions and knowing who God was and having the fear of God put into us, which I talk about it with friends. Alex and I talk about it on this podcast right here on the Breaking It Down series, that nobody's got the fear of God in him. Before I do anything in life, still to this day, I wonder what he's thinking, looking down at me. Now that my dad's up there, we're going to go on 20 years this August 9th, 2006. This August 9th of 2026 is going to be the 20th year memorial of my dad's passing. And he's up there looking at me. Cecil is, Ben Donnelly, Grandpa Carmen and Grandpa Red and Grandma Aggie and Grandma Irene, all my aunts that are up there, my friends, my relatives. I think about that, and God and Jesus at his side looking at me. And I want to have good character. I want to have class. I want to do the right thing when nobody's looking, because I know they're looking. I know they're watching. I feel it. I sense it. I talk to them. I pray to them. I'm on my knees praying. I want to live like that. It just makes sense. I want to see them again someday. I know that my dad is up there watching rodeos and listening to Chris Ledoux with Lane Frost getting bucked around on a bull. And I know he's fishing. And I know he's watching Charlie Kirk speak in a different venue now, behind the pearly gates. I know he's hunting. He's hunting with friends. He's hunting with family. I want to be up there hunting with him again someday. It just makes sense. Why not believe in that? So yeah, that time we were brought up, we had religion. It wasn't pushed on us, but we went to church. My mom and dad sacrificed a lot. Our holidays, our travels, our Christmases, our Thanksgivings, our birthdays, Halloweens, the front yards, the trick-or-treating, our baseball games and wrestling matches and boxing matches and gymnastic classes and musical classes and drum lessons and football and basketball. You name it, we were doing it. Were we overachievers? Maybe. But that upbringing means the world to me. I don't take it for granted. And to have a platform to be able to talk about it, whether you want to listen to it or not, you don't have to. But if you decide to and you hit play and it's interesting, you could stay on it. If I got good guests on, you could choose to stay on it or say, I don't want to hear this. Podcasting's awesome. TV's awesome. There's so many different ways. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of social media because I think a lot of it is false. I think a lot of it is the wool being pulled over people. Everybody's living their best lives. I think it causes a lot of envy and jealousy in our kids. I don't like seeing kids or even adults for that matter being glued to their phone. I myself am at fault about it sometimes, but I'm doing my best to get rid of it 100%. Just be like, if I need it, I'm going to get it. I know that part of our deals with some of our sponsors and partners is social media and posting and reels and stories and this and that. And man, it's just every day it becomes too much. And back when we were coming up, we didn't have to worry about that shit, man. You get on the phone and dial. You get on your bike and ride and drop it off at a porch and go in and knock on the door and have dinner with your neighbors or your friends. Spending the night, slumber parties, they meant everything. Now it's like you know what everybody's doing at all the times. Is it real? Is it fake? Are they that pretty? Are they that good a shape? Or they winning that many awards? Are they getting that many sponsors or that many #1 hits? Or it's just like we know everything about everybody, man. That's not cool in my opinion. There's no privacy. I want to keep some things sacred, man. I don't understand why people get on there and be like, I like to wish my one and only a happy birthday. Who gives a shit? Go and lay with them and sit with them and tell them happy birthday. You love them. Happy anniversary. The world doesn't need to know that you are wishing your loved one a happy birthday. What, you want to have all these people that don't know you in your downline that follow you? We got 210,000 people that follow us on Instagram, 220-something thousand, I think, follow us on Facebook. And I'm going to go on there and be like, I'd like to wish my daughter a happy birthday. Now, when it comes to like posting some volleyball videos and we can get eyeballs on her or recruiting for colleges or whatever, hey, that's what it is. With everything going on with NIL and portals and all of the things that are happening in NCAA sports and high school sports now, you'd be ignorant. You'd be ignorant not to participate in it. But some things have to be held sacred, in my opinion. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, just because I wasn't raised on social media, it doesn't mean that not everybody should be on it. Do what you want to do. People become multimillionaires off of it, being influencers or quote unquote ambassadors, influencers, whatever you want to call them. But I just think some things are still sacred. It's almost like you're looking for somebody to come back in your private messages or in your description or in your comments and be like, oh, happy birthday, good for you, congratulations on your anniversary. That ain't what that shit's about. Back in the day, my mom and dad would go out to dinner, he'd buy her roses, there'd be a gift on the counter, or there'd be a birthday present for us and a cake and some candles, and that was it. A birthday party with your friends, and that would suffice. That was good. It still should be good enough. But now everything's just blowing up. And we've done it. We're just as guilty in a lot of instances. But man, that doesn't mean that I approve of it. There's some regrets about posting some things. I posted a video of Les's 85th birthday, and I'm like, why did I do that? He's 85. That's to be celebrated, but nobody that follows me gives a shit. I do because I love the man. He's my mentor. He's my guy. I've known him going on 20 years. That dude is the man. And I'm like, why did I have to post that? I didn't need to. Some things are good to post. Some experiences. I get it. But man, we're watching the world through a 3, 4, 5-inch screen and then posting it like, rah, rah, look at us. I don't know, man. I don't know if we need to be doing it that relentlessly that much. I don't know. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. That's another conversation for another podcast, another topic. Maybe even have a guest in here talking about, we need to get a doctor in here of how it's really affecting the youth, because I see a lot of people, man, you go to lunch and you look at a table and you're like, they're 3 feet from each other, not saying a word, talking to somebody or checking their social media, their email or their texts. We all do it. Remember when bathrooms, you go to take a you-know-what, they'd have magazines in them. Now it's like, nah, we don't need a magazine. We don't need Playboy or Sports Illustrated or Thrasher to read about skating or circus or hit parade or read about rock bands or Field and Stream or Outdoor Life or Wildfowl, whatever it is. Now it's our phone. You can watch videos. You could get on YouTube. You could look at posts. You could do everything on it. In a way, it's kind of cool, but in a way, it's debilitating. It's too much. You're going to go blind. But again, that's another conversation for a different time. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of my family. I'm proud of my brothers and my mom. Dad, rest in peace. The way I was raised, my aunts, my uncles, my grandmas, my grandpas, my cousins, first, second, third. my friends, burnt bridges, repaired bridges. Some people come into your life for a week, some come into your life for a year, some are 10 years, some are a lifetime. You got to cherish it all. And when you get to that maturity level, like, oh man, that wasn't meant to be. Everything happens for a reason. Met this football player, thought we were going to be buddies. He started acting weird. He's a weirdo. He's out of my life after maybe 15 months. I blame myself. I'm like, it ain't my fault. I'm a good mother. You know what? It could be them. Burnt bridges are burnt bridges, but they have to be burnt for a reason. And you look back on it, you go, I didn't do nothing. So there's all these trials and tribulations in life, man, of what it takes to be a good friend or a good son or a good daughter or a good mentor or a good nephew, whatever it is. Good boyfriend, good husband, good wife, good girlfriend. You want to be good at all of it, but it's impossible, man. And at the end of the day, we're still just human. There's only so much we can do. There's only so many people we can keep happy and impress. And you got to be able to mature through that and be like, you know what? It wasn't meant to be. I wasn't meant to be friends with him or her long term. I wasn't meant to marry her. We broke up. It's part of it. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. It hurts. And you blame yourself. You ask questions. But that upbringing that we had, I saw that right in front of my face, watching a movie of divorces and breakups and get back together and fighting and fixing it and putting a Band-Aid on it and covering it up and lying about it and just nonstop. And your brain's just getting full of all of this stuff. And then at the end of the day, you're asking yourself, how can I be perfect? Not everything's going to go right. I watched too much shit go down. I'm not a victim by any means. It was just life. And it still is. You got to do the best that you can with what you have, the cards you were dealt, no pun intended. You just got to do the best you can. And when I look at my life, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of my family, my brothers, my daughter, my girlfriend, my dogs, my career, my businesses, my brands, the TV shows, the podcasts, the social media, if you will, our sponsors, our partners, our network of folks, our experiences, the things we get to do in life. I mean, I don't take any of this shit for granted. I live a multi-billionaire's life on a very, very small salary. And that's the truth. Yeah, I'm trying to build wealth, but I'm not driven by money. I could give a rat's ass about money. I think money helps. I think money can hurt too if you're not responsible with it and you don't understand how to use it. I grew up poor. My mom and dad worked for everything we got. My dad was a union plumber. Like I said, get laid off. My mom's going to school to become a nurse. She graduates in 85. Then she's a badass, gets her master's in nursing in 91, becomes a nurse practitioner. But shit, by that time, I'm in high school. My mom's going to school while she's raising us, working graveyards, doing internships. As a nurse, she's working at the Veterans Hospital in oncology, watching soldiers die of cancer, working the graveyard shift, sleeping all day, exhausted, and still taking us to our games and our practices and our recitals and our whatever it was. So yeah, you give thanks. You remember where you came from. You don't forget it. Not everything was perfect. And it never will be. But man, I'm proud of where I came from. I'm proud of what my mom and dad did to get us to where we're at. They sacrificed everything for us. I think most parents do. I hope they do. That's our jobs. I miss my daughter right now. I talked to her this morning, texting her, what's up? You want to go to the gym today? Yeah, I think so, Dad. But I don't know. I got some friends over. She's 15 now. She's popular now. She's got her girlfriends, maybe some interesting boys, as long as I approve of that. Ain't afraid to go back to prison. I'll sit here and clean these guns all night. So many songs written about that. But I'm proud. I want to raise her right. I want my nephew Chase to come up right. I want him to be successful. I pray to let them taste success daily, but not all at once. Just taste it here and there to avoid injury and sickness. Have good security. Know their surroundings. Know how to protect themselves when we're not around, because pretty soon they're going to be driving. Pretty soon they're going to be going off to college. And I hope that we did good enough. Her mom, Alyssa's mom, my ex-wife Melanie, her fiance Tony, myself, her mom, her grandparents in Texas, her grandma here. I hope that the values that we instill in her and that my brothers do in Chase and that my brother Clint did in Chance and Caden and Emma and Ashley, that when they're living their lives now, that they're good. And so far, so good. But we don't take that for granted. Life is precious. Everything we get to do is precious. People don't know you because they see you on social media. People don't know you because they heard something from somebody. Reputations don't precede you unless you are truly an asshole and a bad person and you want to manipulate people and be condescending and a narcissist and really try to hurt people that you don't give for the right reasons, that you don't give more than you take. That's not us. That's not in our DNA. That's not in our makeup. It ain't going to happen. I promise you. So when I hear things online or read a bad remark or some asshole saying something that they don't know about, I just let it go in one ear and out the other, because if they're talking about you, you're doing something right. So think about that. Jealousy's there. Envy's a real thing. I hate it. I don't get it. Don't want it. But again, that's a discussion for another podcast episode, maybe a guest. Who do we got coming up? We're going to have some musicians coming up. We got military coming up. We got some fighters coming up. We got athletes coming up. My boy Austin Riley's and the Braves are kicking ass. Walker Buehler just got his third win as a Padre. Had 6 strikeouts last night. Love all of it. David Taylor took third in the country. He's the head coach of Oklahoma State. We got some of his wrestlers coming on. We got Coach Taylor coming on. Oh, man. We got some badasses coming on the show. I can't wait. It's going to be a strong summer of podcasts. I'm going to be a guest on the new Nashville Palace podcast coming up in June with Barrett Hobbs and Bobby Johnson. I can't wait to hear what they ask me, talk to me about sports, music, Nashville, hunting, fishing, branding, companies. I don't know where they're going to go with it. I don't know. But I know that I'm going to be sipping on a little Jack Daniels in the big room at, what happened to my camera? Let me get it right. That's weird. That's better. But yeah, a lot of cool things coming up. I apologize for that. My camera started to go a little bit whack. I think I got it now. But this life ain't for everybody. I just talk about my life because it's really the only one I know. It's no better than yours. The title of this doesn't mean that my life is better than yours. It just means that we're all cut from a different cloth, different DNA, different microfibers. We're doing the best we can, and you're doing what you were put on this earth to do. I know where my seat's supposed to be, where my ass is supposed to be seated. I was put on this earth to do what I'm doing. I truly believe that God had a plan for me. I don't take it for granted. I don't take any of you for granted. I don't take this life for granted, being on this side of the dirt. I thank my lucky stars, my God above, Jesus Christ, daily. I pray. I'm talking to him constantly, talking to my dad constantly. We got some great things coming up soon. I talked about it on a podcast before this. You probably heard it on the Freedom Hunters Nashville Classic. We got Seth Van Dover at Caspian's in Vegas coming up in June. The Nashville Classic Freedom Hunters in Nashville in June. We got Alan Jackson coming up in Nashville in June. We got my dad's memorial 20 years and his big endowment scholarship fund dinner coming up in November. We got the Nevada Waterfowl Banquet that I'm emceeing and hosting on August 29th in Reno. There's so much more. I mean, I'm getting ready to head to Wisconsin with Travel Wisconsin and Joel Clayfish and Paul Hines right now. We're going to see the Dodgers playing the Brewers. We're going to be hunting turkeys, cheese curds, and fish fries, and wild game cooking with Chef Ellie, our resident chef for the Fowl Life. Just so much going on. I'm excited. Thank you again to our partners. This episode, again, was brought to you by Corning Ford and Whiskey Bent Hat Company. It was brought to you by Deemer Box. Oh, man. I love it all. Deemer Box. Thank you so much. It was brought to you also by Almost Heaven Saunas, the official sauna of This Life Ain't For Everybody. I love it. 4 or 5 days a week, 25 minutes at a time. It's just working wonders for myself, my family, my daughter, my girlfriend, Brittany. The recovery, the therapy, your skin, your joints, your tendons, your ligaments, your sleep habits, getting rid of toxins. It's just healthy. I love it. So thank you to the official sauna of This Life Ain't For Everybody podcast, Almost Heaven. Be safe out there. Love one another. Try to anyway. I know we get impatient. I know we get frustrated. We can do better every day. We got to strive to be the best we can. Mediocrity is not for us. We're not perfect. I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a perfect man. I'm not a perfect lover or boyfriend or father or brother or son or employer or boss or manager or entrepreneur. I'm learning on the go. I'm learning as we go. Thank y'all so much for being here. I'm Chad Belding. We'll keep touching on all this. I hope your lives are awesome. Respect each other. Say thank you to a Marine or a Navy personnel or an Army personnel, a veteran, a retired veteran, a wounded veteran. I forgot one. I said Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Marines, Air Force. Say thank you to them for what they do for us. Thank a cop, thank a police officer, a firefighter, an EMT, a first responder, a security guard. Thank them. Thank a teacher. Thank a farmer. Thank a rancher. Thank a pilot. Thank a Uber driver. Without them, we don't get to do what we do. So don't take anybody for granted, whether it's the CEO or the freaking janitor. Shake their hands, look them in the eyes and say, thank you. How's your day going? What's up? You whistling Dixie, mopping that gym floor so our kids could have a clean place to play basketball tonight. Yeah, don't take a custodian or a janitor for granted. We're all put on this earth for different reasons. Respect each other. Try not to be impatient like I get sometimes. Try to be the best. Try to better yourself every day. This ain't a soapbox. I ain't on it. Shut up and sing to these singers out there that are trying to tell me who to vote for. I do like Greg Gutfeld. I like Jesse Waters. I ain't going to lie. I like Brett Baer. I like the Five. I like what's going on over there at that network. Appreciate y'all. Chad Belding, This Life Ain't For Everybody. Brought to you by the one and only Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey. Enjoy it responsibly. Never allow underage drinking. Jack Daniels, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Every single drop's made there. The old number 7, the Gentleman Jack, the single barrel barrel proof, the bonded rye, the sour or the triple mash, the Sinatra, the 27, the Tennessee Tasters. They're all made right there. The 10, the 12, the 14, the flavors, the new blackberry, the honey, the apple, the Tennessee Fire cinnamon. Enjoy it responsibly. There's nothing like old number 7. There's nothing like Jack Daniels Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey. I'm Chad Belding. Thank you for being here for another episode of This Life Ain't For Everybody podcast. Appreciate y'all.